So in this video, I want to look at how to create a flowchart from a problem. When you go into programming, you're going to be given an algorithm. This is what the company needs. We need the software to do X, Y, Z. So how do you go from there? How do you start it in a flowchart so that you know that it's going to work properly so that you can then put it into code? So let's look at this one. Your client has sent the following programming request. Based on the client's need, create a design logic with both a loop and a selection statement using a flowchart. So Not New is going to be the company that we're doing this for. It's an online thrift store that provides national service for customers to shop and sell used clothing. So Not New has contacted your company for a program to add to their website that collects market research information on location and buying preferences. Okay, so this information is going to be used to focus marketing, and it's going to bring in more business in areas that have less traffic. So here's the details. The program needs to collect the customer's zip code, clothing interest category, is it shoes, dresses, shorts, and whether or not they have purchased from Not New in the last year. If you've watched my training videos before, you know I love using Raptor as a flowchart tool. So Raptor as a flowchart tool is incredibly awesome because what does it do? It actually runs for you so that you can see that you've got your program in the proper logical order, which is the whole idea behind why we use flowcharts. If you are new in programming, I highly recommend flowcharts because it gives you that visual, especially if you're a visual learner. There are very few coders that pseudocode sits well with in the beginning. That is okay if you're one of those coders and you just want to write down those instructions, that's perfectly fine. But I find oftentimes students, if they don't get this visual, then they are not understanding what logic actually means. So let's take our prompt that we had and our requirements and let's build this program in Raptor. Remember that we're required to have a loop. We're going to be required to have a selection statement. We need to make sure that we're pulling the zip code from the user as well as what they're interested in buying and whether or not they have purchased from Not New before. There are a lot of different ways that you can do that, but first I'm just going to start by asking the user some questions. The input box is what I'm going to use for that. Then I'll double click the input box and always put something that you want printed to the screen within quotes. Please enter your zip code. And then down here in the input area is where I'm going to put my variable, and I'm just going to call it zip. So now I'm asking the user, please enter your zip code. The next question I'm going to ask the user is, have you purchased anything from Not New before? So again, drag the input over, then double click. I'm going to ask the user, have you ordered from Not New before? Then I'm going to let them know to please enter Y for yes and N for no so that the user knows what to put in. And then I'm going to use returning as the variable and click done. So next I'm going to ask the user, do you like to buy shoes at Not New? Enter Y or N. So again, dragging the input, double clicking, I'm going to use shoes as my variable for this one. And saying that you could do things in different ways, you could just ask the user, what articles of clothing do you want to enter? And then you could have them enter whatever they want to buy. And then you could keep the list that way. You could do it in an array. There's so many different ways you could do it. Right now I'm keeping it simple. So next thing, what do we want to do? We want to purchase pants. So let's ask, do you want to purchase pants at Not New? And I probably should remember to tell them to enter a Y or an N. I'm going to call that one pants. Next, I'm going to ask them if they'd like to buy T-shirts at Not New. I'm just going to drag the input over again. I'll call that T-shirts. Done. Next, let's ask if they like to buy shorts. Double click. Don't forget the quotes. I'll call that one shorts. And then last thing, let's ask them if they want to buy some dresses. I'm going to drag input over and double click. Do you like to buy dresses at Not New? Please enter Y or N. I'm going to call that variable dresses. Click done. Okay. So we are required in this in order to, put in some sort of loop somewhere. So something that I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a loop. And I'm going to do it right here because I want this user to be able to answer all these questions again if they want to. We got to fit a loop in somewhere here, guys. So let's do it this way. And then guess what? While I'm using Raptor, if I find out that I have something in the wrong position, all I have to do is click it and then drag it up and move it up in. So now I can put that inside the loop. So if you're working along and you decide that you've made a mistake, it's really not difficult to change that. You can just click and drag and make changes. You can also, if you put something in and you decide that this is not something that you want, then you can also, if you click on it, you can push your delete key and then it's gone. So the other thing that I want to ask them is, would you like to answer these questions again? So I'm going to drag this input over here and I'm going to ask them, because when we're doing a loop, we have to have some way to exit the loop, right? So would you like to answer these questions again? I'm just going to call that answer. So now we can look at this question to determine if we want to continue through this loop. And look, I just realized I put that outside of the loop. It's right above it. So you can make mistakes like that. Again, you're just going to grab it and drag it down. So we moved it from underneath to the top instead of inside the loop. And it's important to know where you're inside the loop, because you've got your loop starting right here, and you can see that the loop goes down this way. On the no side, it's going to return back up through the loop. So I'm going to click and drag all of those in there. And yes, I do this sometimes just because I want to show you that if you make a mistake, it's okay. You can get it fixed. Okay, I want to put zip code at the top. I want that to be the first one. Have you ordered before? I want that to be the next one. Okay. So would you like to answer these questions again, then get answers? So here, this little diamond inside this loop means that we can make a decision. So if the answer is answer equal to yes, you can see that if the answer was yes, then they would want to do it again. But look at this. If you look at this flowchart, it's actually the no side on Raptor that goes again. So what do we really want to do here with this question? So again, Raptor makes you think about the logical order of things. Maybe I need to ask this question absolutely differently so that it goes the right way. So we could change this question to say, are you done answering these? Would you like to stop answering these questions? Y for yes and N for no. So if they say no, then it is going to have them go answer those questions again. Okay. So again, having this set up so that you can run it and play with it, and you can actually see the different changes that are supposed to be made, right? So what do we want to do next? Well, the next thing that we have to do, so if we look back at our algorithm or our steps that we have to take and what our requirements are, we also have to put in an if statement. So now, if it goes to the no side, I'm going to go back and ask these questions again. If it goes to the yes side, now I'm going to click output. And in this output, I'm going to double click, and I'm just going to say, your zip code is, and then to add the value that's in the variable, I need to put a plus sign, and then I need to put the variable that I'm using to get the zip code, which is zip. And you can see that I did spell it right. I did put it in correctly because it finds it right here in this area. And then I'm going to click done. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to do is list the items that they're interested in buying. So I'm going to drag and output again, and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to say the items you are interested in buying are, I'm just going to kind of do a colon and a quote there just to end it. Like I say, there's many different ways that you can do that. But I'm going to grab the selection here because it doesn't make sense for me to just use a plus for all of these answers that they got in here because there's just Y or no in them, right? And I want to print out what it is that they actually are interested in buying. So if I say dresses are equal to, and you got to use your quotes here, Y in the decision. Then I can do an output for the yes side that says dresses. And you want to put that in quotes because that's what's going to print to the screen. Okay. I don't need anything on the no side because I'm not going to print anything if they didn't buy it, right? So let me grab another selection, and now I can say T-shirts. As long as the value is Y that the user put in, then I can also print out T-shirts. And again, if it's a value that goes to the screen, you always want to put it in quotes. Okay. And then I can do this if selection for every item. Double click this one. We want to do pants. Did we do pants? No, dresses, T-shirts. Now we want to do pants. If pants equal yes, then we want to print out pants. Double click. Shoes. Double click. Shoes equal yes. And on the yes side, we want to output shoes. So we have dresses, T-shirts, pants, shoes. We also need shorts. So again, I'm going to grab a selection. Okay, and let's scroll down. So the next thing, what did I say? We got dresses, T-shirts, pants, shoes. We want to do shorts. So I'm going to double click here and shorts equal yes. Then we want to output shorts. Then if I want, you always want to be very friendly with your customers, so I can just grab an output and I could print out and I could say, thank you for your business. And I could end it there. Now here's the wonderful thing about this is, again, you can grab this little thing right here and you can play it. Let's see if we got it correct. Please enter your zip code. Have you ordered from Not New before? Do you like to buy T-shirts at Not New? Do you like to buy shorts at Not New? Do you like to buy dresses at Not New? Ooh, shoes. Maybe I don't like to buy shoes because maybe I want to, try them on physically. Maybe I order online. Whatever. I'm going to say no. So you can see. And then yes. And you can see as it goes down, it's highlighted so you can see exactly what it's doing. Yes. Variable Y not found because why? What happened here? You got to look at this and figure this out. So if I double click on this, wrong one. If I double click on this one and I see answer equals Y, oh my goodness, what did I forget? Quotes. because anytime you have a string value, so if it's not a number, right, you gotta put it in quotes. So there we go. Now, let's run it again. I'm still going to say no on the shoes. Now it's continuing to run through the rest of it, and look what we have in our printout to the screen. So, your zip code, the items you're interested in buying are dresses, t-shirts, pants, and shorts. You notice it did not list the shoes because I put no on the shoes. And then it said at the bottom, thank you for your business. So I hope this helps you with understanding how to put an algorithm into a flowchart. Have a great day.